Hey everyone, so this week's 2-minute term came about. I was playing Genesis edition of Trivial Pursuit. Now this game came out in 1981 and this question came up and my brother said, you need to do a 2-minute on this. So the term is resurrectionist. This is someone who digs up and steals bodies. They don't care about what's in the grave, like the valuables. They're not grave robbers. They are body stealers for the purpose of taking the bodies and getting paid for those bodies by medical schools and people doing studies. These are body snatchers who were employed in the United Kingdom. So this all happened in England and the United Kingdom between the 1500s and 1700s-ish, we'll say. There was very few cadavers that were available for anatomists to use to study the human body. So they started putting out advertisements that they would pay for bodies. Now, back then, they would pay upwards of $35 a body. This was over 2 months' income for these individuals. To do today's math, it's about $2,200 a body in today's value of income. So it was a decent amount. It was worth during that bleak time for somebody to go dig up a body to go and sell it to the anatomists for that $35. So the resurrectionist men, as they became known, because it was typically men going and doing the digging and body snatching, there became an uproar because healthy individuals were being murdered to be buried so their bodies could be taken and donated. So the Anatomy Act of 1832 came into play, which allowed for unclaimed individuals, prisoners, indigent people that really had no one to claim their bodies, those bodies to be donated to science. That cut back on the stealing of all the other individuals that were being buried, because families were getting really upset, really disheartened that their loved ones were being dug up. Can you imagine going to the cemetery and there being an empty hole where your husband or your child had been buried a few days before? Yikes. In 1896, James Bailey wrote The Diary of a Resurrectionist, which actually was the chronicles of somebody who did this work back in the day and wrote about going and stealing the bodies and taking them to a medical school for donation so they could get the money to pay for things. So you can check that book out. I know you can still find it in some forms online to buy and to read. So definitely an interesting read. But this is the term resurrectionist.